As we've heard over the last several years, the 2015 rule, the WOTUS rule, was something that was definitely an overreach of the U.S. government. I mean, it represented dry creek beds and puddles and ephemeral drainage ditches, groundwater and the rest being considered waters of the United States. And that just is not where Congress was when they created the Clean Water Act. And as you know, it affects all land use decisions, not just farming and ranching, but as you build subdivisions, as you engage in just use of your land. And let me say this unequivocally. That rule in 2015 was not about water quality. It was about power. It was about who was going to be making decisions about land use across this country. And the agency exceeded their authority so much that they turned themselves into the arbiter of how we were going to use our land. And that's just simply not what should occur. And so we've been about a process. In fact, the president, February 28th of last year, issued an executive order, said, fix this. And let's provide clarity, recognizing private property ownership and the role of the states, and get this right going forward. And that's what we're releasing tomorrow, is a new definition, that says that we're going to respect navigability. We're going to respect, the intent of those that crafted the Clean Water Act, and to recognize that farmers and ranchers are our first environmentalists. They're our first conservationists. They care about water quality, air quality, and I think what the past administration did was seek to displace that by again, overreaching their authority. And this is getting back to the basics and recognizing that the Waters of the United States rule should be reflective of what federal authority should be, and the states should have a role, and private property owners should have a role. We're going to propose that groundwater is not going to be a water of the United States. We're going to propose that prairie potholes are not going to be waters of the United States. So we're going to provide the kind of clarity that farmers and ranchers in Nebraska deserve, that they've wanted, and this administration is fixed going forward. So the hope and the objective is to get it done this year. I mean, we've always had this process where we began last year to withdraw the 2015 rule, to extend the compliance dates, and then to provide a substitute definition. It was all with the hope of getting it done in 2018. So that's what we're working toward. Prayerfully, it doesn't spill over into 19. The reason it's a little bit uncertain is because you propose a rule. We propose this language, and under rulemaking responsibilities, we have to take comment. And the last time this happened, there were 1 million comments. In fact, I'm sure that Nebraska Farm Bureau and others across the country responded about how bad the rule was last time, rightfully so. And so those comments will occur. But then as we go forward, we finalize that rule and then publish it. So that process will be defined, maybe comment period 60 to 90 days after it's released. It's at OMB right now. They're reviewing it, and then we'll begin the process in earnest. What we've tried to do from the very beginning, whether we're in Kansas, South Dakota, or now Nebraska, and going back since the inception of serving in this position, is hear from those voices that were not heard from before. Farmers and ranchers' voices, whether it was WOTUS, RFS, pesticides, herbicide, all the various things that impact them, their voices weren't heard. And so the president and under my leadership at the EPA, we have been dedicated to spending time with stakeholders on the ground, hearing from voices on issues of concern. And so my time the last several days has been so valuable because I've sat down with them and heard about the uncertainty. So let me say to you, I endeavor to provide certainty. This administration is pro-RFS. Has been since the beginning. The point of obligation, there's several things that have come up. The point of obligation, many wanted it moved, we did not. Volume obligations being set timely, we've done that. It hadn't been done before. Conventional ethanol, the most that can be, obviously authorized under the statute is 15 billion. We've kept that there. Volume levels for cellulosic and bio-based diesel are going to be increased this year. So this administration has been about advancing this. Now, there obviously are issues of around the RVP waiver. Before we arrived, that wasn't even being considered. And we've been reviewing that in earnest. I believe that E15 is very important, that we should pursue that. It doesn't make any sense, to only be able to sell a product 9 months out of the year. It should be 12 months out of the year. The president is advancing that. So is the agency. We've begun the process to make that happen. It involves rulemaking, which means time. But as we do that, there are other aspects of the RFS that impact other constituency groups. And the White House and our office are trying to provide answers there as we do this rulemaking. So that's ongoing. It's my hope that soon that we can put together a package, and put together rulemaking that provides clarity on E15. And again, that's something that's good. Legally, I think the authorization is there. And policy, it's a good idea policy-wise. There are other aspects we've got to fix along with that, but it's my belief that hopefully we can get to that and get to that very soon.